Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to a brand new episode of Sold Separately. Today we are covering the Pinnacle Series 1 uh, Double J Jeff Jarrett. But I couldn't do this alone without my roadie. What's up, Clark?
Fired up to be here. Honored to be called the roadie. One skill I do not have in this life is singing. And I've always wanted to be able to. So, like, this is the first time I feel like I've ever been complimented on my singing voice. And that's a huge moment for me, honestly, Ant. But I can't wait to get into this one.
Yeah, we'll totally enshrine that.
Yeah.
No, but Jeff Jarrett, Double J, he's had a number of figures over the years, but the Double J figure has not gotten a lot of love over the years. He had a bone cruncher back in the day. Uh, During Jeff's brief return to WWE a few years ago, uh, there were images that he was supposed to get an Ultimate or an Elite of the Double J. Obviously, he didn't stick around in the company. That figure never happened. So this is kind of a really unique, very first time high end Double J, if you will. Even though technically, I guess the Double J name is owned by WWE, but it's no question that is Double J.
This is as good of a Jarrett likeness
Mm-hmm.
as we've seen outside of the WWE Elite collection
Mm-hmm.
by miles.
Yes.
Like, this is classic Double J, Jeff Jarrett,
Yes.
with all of the extra suspenders,
Yes.
the polka dots,
Mm-hmm.
all of it. I really dig this one. The shades are classic. The cowboy hat's classic. Zombie Sailor really, really, really does make an effort to make these things very, very like realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the one we're looking at right now, head scan wise, in my eyes, for Double J, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, without the shades on, it may be slightly different,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that matters. This is, if you are a Jeff Jarrett fan, this is the one that I would display because this is a collectible show for a reason.
Yes.
This adds up. All of it is correct. And it's actually impressive to me because he's had some pretty solid WWE figures
Mm-hmm.
with a similar likeness.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, first time seeing it, basically blew me away.
The thing is with the WWE ones that they did of him in the past, quite frankly, Jax really did not take major effort in a lot of them. And I believe it was an Owen Hart figure. They just reconfigured the head a little bit.
The famous one, yes. The head scan was the same.
Yeah, the don't tick me off, Jeff Jarrett. But what you were saying with Zombie Sailor, he caters to the collectors because he's a collector himself. He's making the figures that he himself would want to buy. Now, unfortunately, by the time this airs, they are not taking pre-orders for this. It was ended. The pre-order window closed sooner than what they anticipated, outside of their control. But they do hope that if at some point they're able to reopen it, they intend to if they can.
Yes.
But if you don't have it on pre-order, then unfortunately you're going to end up with the secondary market and paying an outrageous premium on
is going
eBay.
to be one of those
Unfortunately,
things that is going to absolutely blow up the secondary market, and you got to be careful there. Do your best. I know, right? My friends, my collector friends, that's just going to be a tough one, man. Like, because it is such a great figure, and like now, I actually was yet to pre-show see the head scans. They're spot on. They're truly spot on.
It is classic old school Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Now, the funny part is, I'd be very curious if Mattel ends up releasing an Elite or an Ultimate Roadie, because I believe that they've only made Road Dogg. I don't think they've ever actually made him as the Roadie. And that would be really cool if they did it in correspondence with us, even though it's obviously not the same company, but to try to capitalize on this perhaps. But yeah, I think this is an awesome figure. Series 1 we've kind of covered of the Zombie Sailor Pinnacle line. Hopefully we see a lot more of them down the road. And they just do awesome work, and I cannot emphasize that enough, that this is a figure for collectors, people that grew up with Jeff Jarrett. Clark, you and I pretty much grew up in the Double J era, and then, but long before he became the king of the mountain, this was kind of the first exposure a lot of people had off Jeff Jarrett from our generation.
No doubt about it. This is the Jeff Jarrett that I remember growing up. Like,
Hmm.
this is who he was. You mentioned the roadie earlier,
Hmm.
right? Like, this is that Jeff Jarrett. I think that's cool because we've also seen a lot of more recent iterations of him
Hmm.
figurized, for lack of a better way to put it, in the last few
Yes.
years.
Hmm.
This one is the old school, the classic, and it's really, really, truly well done. I got to give monster props to Zombie Sailor that they are doing a heck of a job.
Yeah. So believe that brings us to the end. We want to thank you guys for watching. We will be back again next Friday. See you then.